this on? Okay, no, not that. Save. Please. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. You guys are here. Hi. Hi, you guys. Yeah, I know I'm here unannounced. I actually had some time. There's been something that I've been working on since the last live. And yesterday I was just way too tired to go live because I think I was still recovering from that laugh fest that I had. But this is really good. This is something I want to catch up on. I am not discussing the new moon solar eclipse right now. I cannot do that today. I'm going to have to probably do that tomorrow later. The other thing I'm going to do tomorrow, though, is at noon Central Time, and my apologies to Autumn, Black and Orange. I know that this is your time to go, but this is the time I want to leverage this new moon solar eclipse energy to work on our new moon contracts, okay? This is such a powerful tool that this group has come together since November to really create with our cosmic fairies how we want to direct these energies and where we're headed on behalf of our nation. So show up. This is the only time I ever give homework. You have to have a writing utensil and paper. If you can't, you can still listen, but really try to feel the essence of where we're going with our new moon contracts. They're like wishes, and they work. So that's tomorrow at noon. I will explain the eclipse later on tomorrow. Welcome all you new subscribers. Holy cow, you've come out. I so appreciate that. I appreciate the good referrals and word of mouth. It's very helpful to my channel. It's very helpful, especially if you like that button, hit the like button, because that helps get my stuff out there, and subscribe as well. We have fantastic moderators. I do the tarot and the astrology a little bit different than most people. My background is not in tarot. My background is primarily as a school psychologist. That's why I'm so nosy. That's why I default am always asking these questions on motives and what people are doing, because I also have a Scorpio sun and Mercury, and it likes to dig deep. The tarot I've only been doing for a couple years. It came to me very naturally because I think of my background in astrology. So if you don't know anything about astrology, it's okay. The horoscope helps map everything out for me to tell you a story. And the amazing thing is that the horoscope kind of keeps us in track, in line with life in real time, because things seem like they can get turned upside down. We don't know which way is left or right. It seems like we're sinking. It seems like we're in a fog. Last year was awful. But what the horoscope does, because I do the lunations, the new moon, full moons, the quarter moons, it keeps us on track and focused. And over time, you can see how what is unfolding in real life stays on pace with the horoscopes and the lunar charts, okay? So if you have any questions, please ask our moderators. They're so fantastic. They've been with me for a very long time. It's been a really wonderful evolution with them over time. And everything is good. The quick comment I'm going to say about this new moon eclipse. Oh boy. This new moon eclipse was conjunct the North Node, which is the eclipse marker point on the Earth and it's the ecliptic point of the sun's marker around the Earth from the eclipses. I know, but just trust me, the North Node is like where you're headed, kind of like your purpose. The South Node, those are from full moon eclipses. That's what we're letting go. That's what's been revealed. So This eclipse we had today at 19 degrees Gemini, that is where the eclipse point was, the North Node, on the January 6th insurrection. So our leader of our nation, who's represented by the sun, and we the people, the moon, we are indelibly linked into working our magic to figure out what the heck happened then. So nobody can make this go away. And I think a lot of the negativity we're hearing in the news about President Biden, the Democrats, this rumble, he did so great the first 100 days. What's wrong with him? I think what's happening is finally the bad guys are like, holy crap, stop this guy, stop them. And the bad guys worldwide want this stuff to stop. So it's kind of, this stuff is like kind of trickling in, filtering in. I'm not so worried about it because President Biden has had a long-term vision. He got started on that well before his inauguration. He has a brilliant, brilliant mind. I've said in the past how I think his stutter was truly a gift from God because his mind is so brilliant, solving things, getting the big picture, the resources, being able to tap in the rules, the legalities, and then having the generosity and the charisma to work with other people. His stutter actually helps him slow down so that the rest of the world can catch up with his thoughts. That's truly how I see his stutter. And sometimes when you see that little stutter come, it's because he's so far ahead of the rest of us. He has to slow down and bring us up to speed. Okay? This has been planned out for a long time. And I know there's a lot of frustration and impatience with what's going on with Attorney General Merrick Garland. Things seem to be kind of at a standstill pause. There's good reason for that. I am not worried, especially after I saw his speech today. You guys, I got the giggles again because I was having flashes of that reading that I did the other night of what he's truly doing out there and how bad it is for Donald and his friends. In fact, that whole speech that he gave there talked about how Michigan was the arsenal of democracy, where we built planes and all of our warships and our artillery to conquer fascism. He freaking said fascism! To conquer fascism? Well, that's what's happening with what the United States is giving the world and their generosity with the Pfizer in Michigan to give vaccines to the world until we defeat this virus. And he was talking about all the benefits for us as a country, how we've been able to resume our lives. We have to kill the virus. But he said an arsenal of democracy to defeat this virus. That is such a kick in the teeth to Putin and Xi and all of them because they've been denigrating democracy so much. It doesn't work. And we've noticed in the past 4 years now also, countries are going to China for resources and help. No, that whole move, giving the viruses to the world, that is the United States in good faith, leveraging that power back from Xi and Putin because they like working with the businesses. And Biden was standing there with a Pfizer guy. It kind of just totally popped their balloon of their evil plan. I am telling you that Xi and Putin were fuming, and so is the GOP, but they're so greedy. They're like, oh yes, Michigan, we're going to be on the world stage. And Biden said, we're not perfect, but, well, I forgot what else he said. He also said the UK and the G7 partners, here we go about partnerships again, are stepping up to meet the moment. This is meet the moment. World leaders. And then he was saying how the United States is already supporting funding for vaccination, jabs, and arms through the American Rescue Plan. And he says we will keep manufacturing, we will keep distributing until we beat this virus. Wow, that was so powerful. And this new moon eclipse, the sun represents a leader of a nation. In Washington, D.C. with this eclipse, well, the sun, yeah, we have our leaders, but our true leader was over in Europe at the time. And at that new moon eclipse, which is what I'm going to look at for this new moon, it affects us because our leader was there. And that new moon eclipse was during the day. So we're going to have more leverage of the sun and the moon together. Here in the Western Hemisphere, that new moon eclipse might have been at daybreak. I think it was still kind of night. So it doesn't have the power and the punch of the sun, but more of the moon, which is more wax and wanes. With the sun over there, with our allies working their magic, this was such a terrific place for him to be for our new moon solar eclipse. Let me check in and say hello to you guys real quick. I didn't mean to talk that long. How are you guys? Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Mel. Hi, Pammy Sue. Hi, you guys. Shockproof, yes. Hi, Jim Dave. Hello, 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 dear friends. Yes, Pammy. So agree my husband. Oh, yes, about the stutters. Yes, they are brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. And the fact that with its new moon eclipse, solar eclipse with Mercury retrograde, the opposition, the bad guys, don't know what to do. They have zero plan. They have gotten kneecapped left and right. And this whole thing that blew up, the ANOM, it's just like they're stunned. They feel a little shell shocked. I know they're tough guys, but it's almost like they got this was a huge hit, and there's still fallout, and they are still scrambling. So the best way to understand this ANOM background, and the fastest way, the video I just uploaded yesterday, the funniest excerpt yet, the first 5 minutes give a really good description on what this is in the history. This, I think, is one of those touchstones I'm going to be referring back to a lot going forward. And I think there's going to be fallout with lawsuits for years going forward. And I think this is why we have so much added resistance by the GOP and Manchin and Sinema to block and obstruct. Okay? Let's see. Hi, North Carolina. Okay, so what is this about? So ANOM, I'll give a quick summary. This is the app on the devices that the FBI created. And they used this app and had a person, what do they call them, a confidential human source, had these devices with this app inserted into networks of the global criminal crime syndicate. And they had them distributed first in Australia, which I think was brilliant, because if people in Australia, the crime groups over here, were getting all of these devices, and then it travels around the world, finally getting to Europe and the United States. Hey, you guys, I got a guy. They've got this really great app. It is totally, next generation, best unencrypted stuff ever. You can't get caught with anything. They started distributing this in about 2018, okay? And I think that's why they got it started out there, and then it came around to the United States. Plus, the FBI with the last administration couldn't look like they were linked to it. So the FBI, the brilliance behind this app that was in these devices for traffickers and smugglers and money launderers is that every single text message that was sent, it was basically blind copied to servers in a third country, every single photo, every single text. In all, they had over 20 million texts, 450,000 photos, and each one of those were tied to an identifying number to each person who had these. There were 20,000 devices out there. There were 300 crime syndicates that were targeted. This is what broke through on June 8th. And the reason why it broke through on June 8th is that the agreement with the FBI and our third country, who was reading all the messages, they got something significant, then they'd come and tell the FBI. But until then, the FBI wasn't reading these things. They were getting it like secondhand from another country. Our agreement ended with that country on June 7th. So that case was unsealed on June 8th. And that's when the news hit the fan. That's when everybody found out. Okay, so you got that? So, which brings me back to, I got the giggles the other night because I think word got back maybe to Jared about these incredible state-of-the-art, new apps that were encrypted. Nobody could catch the criminals. I think it got to Donald. Donald was like, there's nothing like this before. And I think he was promoting it. That's why I was laughing so hard. So I think all of them started using this thing. And it seems like this thing was also used by insurrectionists. Like it finally got around the world and everybody was using it here because it's such an amazing, amazing thing. But it belonged to the FBI. There were over 100 agents who created this app. So this has been used in every continent, basically every country around the world, except for like 2 in Eurasia, and like it seems like about a third of Africa was using it, but otherwise every single country had this in their pinging, okay? So the question came up the other night, why was General Flynn's brother assigned to the Pacific? And so I was thinking about that because I'm like, yeah, I know there's an answer. And so I went with my hypothesis, which led to more things, which is what I'm doing this live about, okay? So the other thing to know about this ONANOM, this app, the FBI, what did they call it? I can't think of, it's like I tweeted it. I need to find that word. Give me 1 second. Load. They geofenced. This is important. This is where I got the aha about General Charles. So when the FBI launched this app, they made it such that the United States was geofenced, meaning that if anybody was in the United States with this app, their text messages, all their activity would not go to that server abroad. I think they called it like an iBot because those servers were housed abroad. But if someone that had this device with the Anom app in it and they came into the United States, immediately they were picked up and all of their stuff would ping and all of their stuff would be stored on that server. So there was anybody in the United States, maybe Donald promoted it, who would have this app, like a Roger Stone? Yeah. Donald? Yeah. Jared? Yeah. Yeah. All of them. If they were using it here in the United States, it would not work. But lo and behold, General Charles Flynn, what is it? He got assigned a new duty in the Pacific. Why would he be a general on a boat in the Pacific? Well, the United States is now geofenced. how long ago was he assigned that duty? Does anybody know? I want to say it's been at least a week or two maybe. So if he was using this app until June 8th, so because I'm probably sure everyone just tossed, like I just see in my mind thousands of these dead phones just like laying in the middle of the street just dying away because nobody wants to be associated with them. So if he's going abroad and he's on a boat, he's been there whenever he had to deploy and leave, and he's using this, guess what? His stuff is pinging to the IBOT. There's record of it, right? So that's what I was looking at. Oh, the other thing that happened that in this, so this charge, the case, was unsealed on June 8th. The FBI using this app, how they used it, and why they got search warrants. We found out from that filing that there were about 15 users, 15, that came into the United States with this app. And because they entered with this app, their stuff was pinging. So the two things I was looking at were, I call them like the 15 this, and I was looking at the general. Okay? So I was looking at those things in combination to the stuff I was looking at the other night. Does that make sense? I need a drink. Oh, wait, where are you? Yeah, I disappeared. I'm on the wrong page. Okay. Okay. So that's what I was looking at. He was there just less than a week, Pamela. Because I think, yeah, I don't think he was there very long. So the Wednesday was the 8th. So I think maybe even like maybe the end of May, Memorial Day. So that's a lot of time for him to be out there with that app if he's using it, right? Hi, Mimi Rose. Okay. That's what I was looking at. And the way I look at these things is, I know we've had a new moon eclipse, but I was actually looking at this last night before our new moon eclipse. So I'm still at our last third quarter moon over Washington, D.C. So what I was seeing, some of what was happening with these two, with the 15 and General Charles, some of these things are related to why Attorney General Merrick Garland is hanging on to all of the cases, because this stuff is showing up related to Donald and whoever else is under investigation. So now that is a national security issue, and yeah, he has to clamp down on that. Because we're talking about foreign interference with crime. Because this thing that was unsealed, they have 4 different U.S. codes that were violated: crimes, treason, 18 crimes, drugs, transportation, and money were the 4 major areas. So this is pinging back. Donald is definitely messages about him and the things that they were doing. So I was looking at that, and I was also contrasting them. Why is he managing all these cases? And then these two were also showing up. Why Biden was going to Europe, the plan, the 8 cups. That's what we were waiting on with the statutes of limitations with New York. What was going to happen with the 8 of cups? The 8 of cups, I deduced, is Biden's trip to Europe. And then Biden's meeting with Putin. Big purple square there, that is General Charles Flynn in the area of secrets and hidden enemies. So I was looking at those, and then I was looking at some more of our senators, governors. It's a very interesting story. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you their teroscopes, and then I will tell you who lined up with them. Okay, so I need to add some arrows really quick. So this area, goes to here and to here. What else do we have? Messages. And, oh my God, you guys, there's such trouble. Okay, so let's look, who do we want to look at? Let's look at General Charles Flynn. He's in these cards. These are the 15 people with the ONANOM app that entered the US. So at the quarter moon, what's giving life to this chart for General Charles Flynn over the over DC? He's taking care of some matters overseas. The Page of Wands for me is news from overseas because like we have the sand dunes in here. So he's got, there's like some bad news coming up. Yeah, it was what happened on June 8th. So there's some fallout. There's some bad news. And we have the Queen of Swords, the law, but this also could be queens are nations. These could be other laws, other lands. So he's abroad. So he's, and this can be intelligence from other nations, okay? So this is what he's dealing with this week. And so that's what he's dealing with. Who is he? The substance of what he's about. The King of Wands, leadership. This has been an angry Putin card, which has fallen like for literally an angry Putin or Semyon Mogilevich or the Saudi or Xi. They've all shown up like this. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, money and data from another nation. So he's dealing with leaders other than the United States and money and data, other states. But he's taking a leadership role as well. The people who lined up with them here, the Queen of, I can believe this. Oh, this is who this is. The Saudis came up as the King of Wands, so this is who he's working with. This is what I'm about on his boat. And then the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is Rick Perry. I randomly picked Rick Perry because he just popped in my mind. Yeah, Rick Perry is still doing this stuff because remember, he was like the energy department guy when he was in the cabinet and he was over in Ukraine, you know, laughing it up, yucking it up over there when Donald, whatever. This is what he's dealing with. Rick Perry is still like running stuff around, you guys. So the secret for General Charles Flynn, he's on a boat. Four Pentacles reversed. So this oftentimes is Donald who cannot hang on anymore. Just a minute. Hey, I'm live. Okay, be careful, please. Okay, sorry about that. So, this has also been like the Trump campaign, they're no longer in charge. They're like hanging by a thread. So if this is Trump and those people, they're really trying to hang on. The secret, how do I stay relevant? Because there's been a new source of structure and order. Because this is a card of stability. So this is his secret, General Flynn. This is his hidden enemy, the Three of Wands reversed. This, I think, is the ONANOM. Yep, we set you out there in a boat. We're waiting to see what kind of messages come back from you. So the people, things that lined up with him in terms of his secret, trying to hang on, we have Biden's call to Zelensky. Something going on with that. And what's going to happen at the meeting between Biden and Putin. Something involving that. This hidden enemy, the Three of Wands reversed. Hello, Senator Manchin. Senator Manchin, what possibly could you be doing with this, right? This is why they're... So what does Senator Manchin have to do with this as the hidden enemy? Senator Manchin has... This is my card for the Six Wands mob, the transnational mafia. The key players are Trump, Putin, Unji, Netanyahu, MBS, yada, yada, yada. But it's reversed. This is more undercover. You're not supposed to know that Senator Manchin has links to the Six Wands mob. The devil. There's been a change in how they talk with the devil. They're being pried away from the deals that they've made with the devil. So, but this is the hidden enemy. His dealings with that, and things are on the move. They are scared. They might talk a good game, but they know this stuff is coming, especially since June 8th. They are going to block everything, you guys. Everything. And then the other thing that lined up with this was Venezuela, the country of Venezuela. Usually I pick things for Terrascopes. If there's like a weird headline I catch, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to throw on that and see what happens. There's your Venezuela. Who knows? Secrets and hidden enemies. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, this is the ascendant. So, and then this area, the secret, the astrology said, look to a beginning and ending. So, yeah, things are ending for them because of their 11th house. Networks and friends are going to get them in trouble. This here, your networks, he had the Two of Cups. The only one who had the Two of Cups here was the Saudis. This is General Charles Flynn out in the boat with his ONANOM app, right? Oh, thank you, Carol. What's crowning him out there? Nobody else had this, but we've got the magic card reversed. He knows he's manipulated something, and he's sweating bullets out there, you guys. He cannot get away from what he's done because it's all been recorded. This area, the 9th house, law enforcement. The astrology said, look to the roots of the United States and how we defend ourselves. Oh my gosh. There goes the chainsaw. That was the phone call. Let me look out my window real quick. Okay, everybody looks alive. Everyone looks alive. My throat just went dry. Okay, so the 9th house. This has to do with law enforcement, lands far away, like the Saudi. He had the Page of Swords because he's a spy. He's a freaking spy. Thank you, Michelle. General Charles Flynn in a boat out in the Pacific in the 8th house. This area of shared resources. We have the star. I think the star is the thing that Biden is planning to do. He's setting everything up right now on his trip abroad, taking in this whole app thing. And when he gets home, oh boy, we're going to find out so much more. But in this area, General Charles Flynn in a boat. The Knight of Cups. This is usually my card for Don Julio saying, hey, go do this for me. Offer this, offer this. But, oh, I like this. You know what this also came up for? The shared resource, another country. This was the color guard when President Biden spoke yesterday at the Royal Air Force Hilton Hall. Because I threw a Terrascope on. Why is he here? We have all this pomp and circumstance, but what's going on? So this goes two ways. It's shared, Don Julio, but also President Biden. And, look, I didn't understand this earlier. The astrology said, look to the card of the Jupiter return. Benefits. President Biden seems to be tied to this astrology card of the Jupiter return because he was already once the vice president. He's come back. His ascendant, his rising sign is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is good luck. Jupiter is the law. Jupiter is your optimism. And it's here upright with benefits. So it's benefiting us. This is the shared resource, why he is out there in the ocean. His 7th house, oh my gosh. Partnerships. Remember when I said I did the Trump Tower meeting? I think, no, it was the one with Natalia Veselnitskaya. Those guys went to Israel. Lindsay, Pompeo, someone else. I said Pompeo's pissed off. He doesn't want to do this. The 6 of Cups, going back to the past. This isn't about children. This is more like MAGA related, Republican Party related. So General Charles in a boat here, his partner that he's dealing with is Pompeo, because Pompeo is the only person that had this. Something, I think what Pompeo did, okay. What did Pompeo do? What? Yes, that's what we want. We want to know what did General Charles and Pompeo do? Because Pompeo was in Israel. He's in the Navy in the Pacific. So what is this thing that they did? What is this about? Mother Russia. The Russia needed something because of election burdens. They can't break away from that devil. They're also being forced to now with this app. And what are we going to do with all this? I think this was a data exchange, maybe a data breach, hacking, a nation hacking. Ugh. So they were doing bad things, but they shouldn't be doing. This area, the 6th house. Okay, so this is the military. He's a military guy. This has to do with investigations, our intelligence. We have the 2 of Swords reversed. A decision's been made. There is a settlement. I can't believe this. My throat is dry. The only other person who had this, I had Capricorn, who uses substance, was at 15, those 15 ANOM people, the foreign nationals who entered the United States with the app on their phone. This is your day-to-day activity, your day-to-day routine. It is the military, it's public servants. So a decision was made. Something's been finalized. This might be related to what happened on June 8th, but there is your connection. General Charles, our public servants, our military, our GOP, to those yahoos, foreign nationals walking in with that app in the United States. Jerks. So, okay, so then here, this is the 5th house of the sun. This is the place that represents our leader, our leadership, our creativity. We have, gosh, I laughed so hard when this was Taurus because usually under Biden, it's like, I gotcha. You know, like, I'm going to pull a quarter out behind your ear. I got your nose. He's got the receipts, you guys. He's got everything. So with General Charles Flynn in the 5th house, the Ace of Swords, like an attack, we're done here. Things coming to an end. An app which ended things, and the only other person who had this was Eric Prince. They're done. Biden has the receipts. This area, the 4th house, this is your defense. Your people, your home, you defend at all costs. It has to do with your ancestors and where you came from. General Charles Flynn in a boat had himself with the Trump crime syndicate, with indicted individuals we don't know about yet. So he's out there trying to defend what these Yahoo idiots did. And now they're SOL and can't do anything. This is why he's in a boat. How sad is that? This area has to do with your messages, your devices, your electronics. Mercury, how awesome is this? During Mercury retrograde, their apps all get busted. That's so awesome. I love it. General Charles in a boat. Treason. I know what you did. I have the receipts. And the only other person with the treason here is the rusher. His comes with the rusher. And then we have this area, which is your income, gains, values, your substance, who you are. Well, the president is there, is represented by the sun, and he's right there by the north node. And what that represents, life purpose. This is all money. This is also money, income. General Charles in a boat, the King of Cups. This is usually my Putin card when these guys are working for Putin because he supports them so much with money. And, and there was, where is it? I didn't grab it. There should be a 5 of Swords here. I forgot to grab that one. That's the Mafia card. So who had the 5 of Swords, the Mafia card here in the second house? Lindsay, Miss Lindsay. And Governor DeSantis. Lindsay, what were you doing with the mafia? And you're talking with General Charles. What are you doing with money in the mafia, Miss Lindsay? The United States of America. Taking stuff from the United States and blending it or diminishing it in some way for the Russia leader agreement. And he doesn't want anyone to see that's what his agreement is. He is such a little, ugh. Okay, DeSantis. And you know what? The Matt Gaetz, Joel Greenberg, Bahamas thing is all over this. I think that's how those guys got caught, to be honest. For entertainment purposes only. So, Governor DeSantis, why are you lining up with General Charles in a boat? Oh my God. The whole enchilada. We will find out about more when POTUS returns with the Trump crime syndicate. Oh, I wonder if that's like the gambling thing. Yeah, that's a Trump crime factory. They're trying to keep things in balance for that. Wah, wah. Messages intercepted. That's what's going on with that. Now, that was Charles. I looked at these 15 foreign nationals who entered the United States with this Anom app. And we know that because immediately as they entered, because the FBI geofenced the nation, all of their texts and correspondence went abroad to a third country. We have the receipts, we have copies of everything. So their teroscope, they're represented by this deck. So on the ascendant, okay, we have, there you go, timing, the Wheel of Fortune, the part of fortune. This lined up with Natalia Veselnitskaya, who often lines up with Ivanka, which often shows up when they are trying to do an app, a propaganda influence, or an attack. Someone has to call the order to get things in motion. And the star, they represent the star. This massive app, the fallout, I think, from this ONANOM app. So that's what's giving them life, these 15 foreign nationals here. Who lined up with this? Well, I said in another reading, when I have people showing up next door with one another, sharing the same card, it's like passing notes. They're very close in vicinity and they're talking and like they hand it off to the next person. So the person who had this Wheel of Fortune here right here in the area of secret is Biden's meeting with Putin. So he's using these guys as examples. And Jared using the same type of technology. And there's the star. Who are these yahoos? The Four of Wands. They're there to address things with the White House, take the White House, influence our success here. They're here on a mission. And it's not reversed because things have changed here in the United States. It's upright, meaning they're there to go after the way things are now. The secret for these 15 foreign nationals, the Knight of Wands reversed. I still think of this card when my laughing fit, Donald getting caught because these are the FBI undercover. But the secret is with these guys is this is related to the case that was filed on May 18th, 2021. That was the case that was unsealed on June 8th. So they were doing stuff that was related way back on May 18th. Remember there was recently that big, huge weapons seizure off the coast of Yemen and all those weapons? Like, I wonder if that was part of this too, you know? The other thing that got this, I still haven't looked this up, but the OTF, it's another app by the FBI called Greenlight. I don't know what that means. But it was in the same filing with the Anom app and Operation Trojan Shield. So it's all related. So that's the secret about them. This is the hidden enemy, you guys. What they don't know, the Ace of Pentacles. These are like the receipts of their communications. The Seven of Swords, what they're stealing and trying to get away with here. Who lined up with this? Rick Perry? Rand Paul. And Putin regarding the ONANOM app. All traces to this. This is the hidden enemy. The person who had the Ace of Pentacles alone here, in the same place, was Attorney General Garland and why he's hanging on to all the cases. For entertainment purposes only. Let me get a drink. Okay. So, the 11th house, their networks, they stand alone with their betrayal, their criminal ways. But what is crowning these 15 foreign nationals who have entered the United States with that app? The Seven of Cups reversed. Now, I would see the Seven of Cups a lot like when relationships with like North Korea, with hacking, like back channels to North Korea, even like with trafficking children, eek. This is reversed. Only one person had this card in the same position. That was Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo. What does Mike Pompeo have to do with these 15 foreign nationals? He has... They're in trouble. They thought they were coming for a strike on the United States and transmitting information and messages between people because the family, the sponsors, the donors are in trouble. And we've got the receipts. We've got all their discussions. So he was talking about that. Mike Pompeo, that guy, he had to have had he's in so much trouble. Okay. What's next? Oh, they just got so much. And I didn't have time to do it. I wish I could have done everybody. These are just the ones I've had time to do. In this area of the law, lands far away, Department of Justice, these 15 nationals had the Eight of Wands reversed. Look at all that precision. Look at all that data that we got so quickly that we've just been waiting around on pause, waiting for these guys and their comms. And what is the law and the Department of Justice going to do? The NRA had this. What was the NRA doing with these 15 nationals, you guys? Same thing. Hello, I love it when these line up. They're a true total match. The NRA was an outlet for the crime around the world. The Russia strength. They tried to keep Russia's strength hidden at their ties. It's all the Russia and the mercenaries and the money and the psyops and the jail. Trying to get out of jail, trying to get out of sanctions. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Where am I? Oh, that was the 9th house of the law. This is the 8th house. This has to do with shared resources, 2 countries, other people, other agreements. These 15 foreign nationals. We've got the Queen of Swords. We've got laws from another nation. We've got rules. We've got intelligence reversed. It's hidden. Those 15 nationals thought they were coming in with like a secret app. Really? Who lined up with this? Operation Trojan Shield. So I think this is Operation Trojan Shield embedded in them. Oh, and you know who else had this? The Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers, what were you doing with these 15 foreign nationals? This is for entertainment purposes only. This is only my opinion. They were chatting away with the Oath Keepers from an unorthodox government. Let's overthrow the government. And that was the plan. So shallow. Only a 2-step plan. These people, not smart either. Thank God. Thank God. Thank goodness. Okay. 7th house. Their partnerships. These are their partnerships or their open adversaries. These 15 foreign nationals. Okay, they're there. We've got some burdens. We're here to relieve some burdens. These have traditionally been election burdens. They've got a lot of burdens. They've got the fraud going. We need help. SOS. Who else had this? Oh my gosh. The unsealed case and U.S. Code 21. That might be drugs. I know the codes are huge. The fact that I even wrote down the number is huge. So it's in this category. It's in the filing if you want more information. But this is what their problem is. Yeah, breaking laws. You know what? Just don't even come here. You won't get caught, right? Just leave. Easy peasy. Free advice, right? So here we go. We are in hi Leslie, the 6th house. These 15 foreign nationals, again, so they lined up with General Charles Flynn in the boat. That's the intersection between those two with this app. 5th house of the sun, these guys, the Queen of Wands reverse. Putin is mad that his nation is no longer in charge. He's had to take a back seat. They're here to do his bidding. And the only other thing that lined up with this was the Bahamas. This is why they go to the Bahamas. So what are these people doing in the Bahamas for Putin? The Russia. They go to the Bahamas because they've got stuff they're working on. It isn't just propaganda. This is data. This is laundering. This is all that busy work that they're always doing to hide stuff. Why else are you guys working with the Russia? Because we do. That's what they do through that app. Because they've made a huge investment in the Bahamas and what's going on there. Oh. And they better go register FARA because these guys are toast. They thought that they were so quiet and inhibited and no one saw them. Nope. They're so done. This area of defense, these 15 foreign nationals, I am a mess. We have The Nine of Pentacles. The oligarchs are here. We're paying the bill. We're paying for you to go there. Go talk to the Ivanka. Go talk to these people. Who else had this? Vice President Harris had this. She's defending the nation. I really hope this isn't. I had Vice President Harris here because this is why she went to Mexico. Yes, why she went to Mexico and Guatemala. Because of these same people they're dealing with. And Roger freaking Stone. What was Roger freaking Stone talking about with the 15 foreign nationals with this app? He's like, oh, I'm being recorded. An attack from another state, another nation, or because of our laws here. The mercenary, quid pro quo. Our mercenary is going to set stuff up from the Russia. The Russia plan here is coming out. He was the go-between with the Russia, with the attack on the United States of America. So Roger Stone, I keep seeing him. He just seems like he totally wants to turtle and disappear. And then this area of messages of 15 foreign national. Taking stuff. They're recorded. This is what we're going to do to diminish stuff here. We're going to steal. We're going to plan something undercover maybe. This just showed up somewhere. Who had this? They're the only ones that had this with messaging. So they were here, you know, to do some bad things. Mix things up with whatever they were bringing in with them. And then this area. Okay, I'm missing a card. Oh, here we go. It's hiding. Income gains values. The substance of what you are. The 10 of Pentacles reversed. This is the Trump dynasty. Has fallen down. We're here to boost them up. And who lined up with this? That unsealed case from June 8th. Having to do with Code 49. I think that's transportation of goods. Right next to this, so like handing something off, was the Oath Keepers. And then next to it here, in communications, handing it off. This is why Merrick Garland is holding on to all of the cases. So things are just going to be backlogged for a little bit. We're cleaning some stuff up in Europe. Biden's got to talk to Putin. Trust me, there is a huge plan. Biden is always 10 steps ahead. And this is why I don't think he cares what is being said in the media. And I know it's very upsetting that, you know, the Manchin won't get rid of the filibuster. He's voting against la la la. These guys actually want them on record. And they don't like everyone being upset. But it is covering the airwaves. Everybody knows where they stand, so whenever the star or whatever intervention or consequence comes next, everyone will be like, oh yeah, they make sense. So there isn't any disagreement about it, and there's no propaganda or misinformation about it. Got it? So that's that. So this is why I came on today. I just wanted to show you guys this because I think we're going to be dealing with this more and more. Tomorrow, I will be going live tomorrow at noon. Paper and pencil, be there. New moon contracts. Even if you can't do it then and you catch the replay, I can feel you guys picking it up later and writing away. I sometimes see the little mergoats taking, you know, working with the energy and making something. It's really kind of fascinating. And then much later on, I will do this new moon eclipse because I have 2 eclipses to look at, and I've got a hockey game to go to. The boys are playing tonight. I can't wait. So that's that. You guys, we're going to be okay. Enjoy this sparkly weather. Mars is moving quick now into Leo. The energy is going to change radically. The temperature, we get our highest temperatures usually with Mars and Leo, but it's clashing with Saturn and Uranus. So there's going to be some funky bad weather. So stay safe, stay hydrated. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, moderators. Thank you so much for your donations, you guys. Welcome, new subscribers. This community is wonderful and lovely. we'll catch up with you later, okay? So thank you. Thank you, Pammy. Shockproof, you got it. Thank you, Debsy. Thank you, Chris. Yes, thank you, Troll Slayers. Thank you, Alexandra and T-Barb and Rosie. Rosie, don't worry about Texas. And Carmen and Mimi, thank you. Yes, go team, go. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.